One Piece is possibly the most successful manga of all time, with an epic anime adaptation. The huge cast of characters has enchanted the world with their tales of magical, swashbuckling adventures. But who are the real-life pirates who inspired the anime series? In this video, I will answer that question by breaking down the real-world history that inspired One Piece. If you'd like to see a follow-up to this video that breaks down the real-world mythology and folklore behind One Piece, let me know in the comments and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it. One Piece creator and mangaka Eiichiro Oda has clearly taken inspiration from the real-life golden age of piracy. This was a historical period stretching roughly from 1690 to 1740, and many of the manga's characters are based, or at least named after, real historical figures. For example, to take just one of the alliances in the manga, the 11 Supernovas, Capone Gang Bedge is named after the notorious American gangster Al Capone, but let's stick to pirates and privateers. X-Drake is named after Sir Francis Drake, a loyal servant of Queen Elizabeth I and founding member of her fleet of privateers known as the Sea Dogs. Magician Basil Hawkins is named after John Hawkins, another member of the Sea Dogs who served with Drake. Glutton Jewelry Bonnie is named after Anne Bonny, an Irish pirate, hellraiser, and lover of another pirate, Captain Kaliko Jack Rackham, who is referenced in One Piece by Kaliko Yorki, the captain of the Rumbar Pirates. Eustace Kidd is an amalgamation of Captain Kidd, a pirate who left behind rumors of buried treasure that have lasted centuries, and a French mercenary and pirate named Eustace the Monk. Rouge Mad Monk is named after Aruch Reis, more commonly known as Arouge Barbarossa of the Barbary Corsairs, a group of pirates who operated along the North African coast. Finally, Scratchman Apu is named after Chui Apu, a pirate who preyed on the British opium trade in the South China Seas. However, there is no historical record of the real Apu rapping. Everybody, much of the information we have about these real-life pirates comes from a book which itself has mysterious origins. A general history of robberies and murders of the most notorious pirates was published in 1724 under the name of author Captain Charles Johnson. It marks the first known use of the term Jolly Roger to describe the pirate flag. It is believed this term comes from the French phrase Joli Rouge, meaning pretty red, because some of the first pirate flags were plain red banners to signify the color of blood. The pirates of One Piece fly a wide variety of Jolly Rogers to mark the identity and allegiance of each crew. Similarly, in history, there was no one flag that all pirate ships used. Some flags were plain black, some plain red, while others were variations on the skull and crossbones design. Johnson's book ignited an interest in pirates and inspired the creation of Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson, as well as the character of Captain Hook in J.M. Barrie's Peter Pan. However, the true identity of the book's author remains a mystery to this day. There is no trace of a Charles Johnson serving as a ship's captain found in any historical records. In the early 20th century, one scholar suggested the real author might have been Daniel Defoe. As the author of Robinson Crusoe and Captain Singleton, Defoe would certainly have been familiar with the lore of the sea.
Bid our father, the Sea King, rise from the depths full foul in his fury.
Not that Defoe. Despite this uncertainty, modern research has shown that Johnson's book is surprisingly accurate regarding historical facts. The roots of the golden age of piracy lie in the mid-16th century, when Elizabethan England was facing the threat of war with Spain. In order to undermine the Spanish Empire's maritime power, without launching an all-out war, Queen Elizabeth I authorized a group of naval officers to operate in secret, attacking and robbing Spanish supply ships. These men became known as the Sea Dogs, and the Queen issued them the Letters of Marque, which secretly declared their activities legal under English law. The Elizabethan Sea Dogs, led by men such as Sir Francis Drake, Sir Walter Raleigh, Sir John Hawkins, and Sir Martin Frobisher, became privateers, in other words, officially licensed pirates. Suitably, Oda took the names Drake and Raleigh for major characters in One Piece. The Sea Dogs carried on their campaign of raids against the Spanish until Elizabeth I died and James I took the English throne, bringing an end to hostilities against Spain. Meanwhile, a similar situation was occurring across the world during Japan's Sengoku period. The Seto Inland Sea served as Japan's main seaborne transport line between its islands, major ports on the mainland coast, and other countries such as Korea and China. It was such a vital route for food and supplies that Japan's fiefdoms often had their own private navies known as suigun, or water armies. The largest fleet of these licensed privateers was known as the Murakami Suigun, and their base was the maritime trade hub of Inoshima Island. The Murakami Suigun were known as the Lords of the Sea, like the Okashichibukai, or Seven Warlords of the Sea in the One Piece universe.
いずれも手に余るくせ者揃い。
With the demise of the Elizabethan sea dogs, many of the less privileged sailors found themselves at a loose end. Like many trained men of war in the past, they felt abandoned and neglected when peace broke out. At the same time, European powers were expanding their colonial empires in the New World. A network of trade in food, precious metals, and slaves was established across the Atlantic Ocean. The East India Company became the first multinational corporation and exercised almost as much power as the world government in One Piece, as well as their decadent hangers-on, the world nobles. The unemployed privateers encountered French squatters on Hispaniola, known as the Buccaneers, who occupied the island from an island fortress called Tortuga. The Buccaneers took their name from the word bucan, which is a wooden frame used to smoke meat over an open fire. Teaming up with the privateers, they began to launch raids on the Spanish galleons and settlements, becoming the first wave of pirates of the Golden Age. These pirate crews were usually formed from unemployed privateers, fugitive slaves, and young men or sometimes women from poor families who hungered for wealth and adventure. Their ships were not the heavily armed variety we see in the movies, but small, fast, easily maneuverable crafts that could navigate the shoals that larger ships couldn't, like Luffy's Going Merry ship, but a bit bigger. In the late 1600s, a Caribbean pirate achieved such notoriety that his name became known across Europe. Henry Every, or Avery, seized such a large number of ships that he was put at the top of wanted lists throughout the Caribbean. In the mid-1690s, Every received word that the East India Company were closing in on him, so he and his ship, named Fancy, departed from the Bahamas and were never heard of again. This mysterious disappearance fired up the public's imagination and brought a further wave of reckless adventurers into the Caribbean, ready to sail under a pirate flag. We can see parallels between Every, who was dubbed the King of Pirates, and the character of Gol D. Roger, the Pirate King of One Piece, who was executed 20 years before the series begins. As the legend of Every did for would-be adventurers, Roger's legend inspired Monkey D. Luffy to set sail on his own quest. In 1713, pirate captains Benjamin Hornigold and Thomas Barrow settled their expanding pirate crews on the British colonial island of New Providence in the Bahamas, overrunning it and its capital, Nassau. They proclaimed Nassau a pirate republic and appointed themselves as governors of a population of 1,000 citizens, mainly pirates. One Piece has the pirate island of Hachinosu, but it's far from a republic. Although Monkey D. Luffy is young, ambitious, and filled with dreams of treasure, his chief motivation in the series is to protect his friends, as if there were a pirate code of honor influencing his decisions. This concept of a pirate code of conduct is fairly close to reality. The crews of the Nassau Pirate Republic found that being merciful to the other crews they captured was actually productive. If sailors knew that they would be treated fairly, they were more willing to negotiate terms of surrender, and this reduced the amount of bloodshed and collateral damage. Some of these prisoners would also go on to become pirates themselves. The ships of the Nassau pirates had, in general, better living standards than many of the merchant ships. They also had a rough form of democracy. The crews would vote on who became captain, and unpopular captains could be booted off the ship. The crews could also vote on their targets or destinations, and they often got an equal share of the plunder. Also, female pirates had equal rights, and because roughly a quarter of Nassau's population were escaped slaves, there was a fair amount of racial toleration for the time. This sense of autonomy is reflected in the fluid and ever-changing alliances of the world of One Piece. Luffy sails with a core crew of like-minded souls, the Straw Hat Pirates, but they often team up with other pirate crews who have similar goals. They are usually united by their resistance to the Marines, the Emperors, and the New World government. Within the universe of One Piece, however, Oda creates a balance. On one side, there is the idealistic, swashbuckling Luffy. On the other hand, however, there is the sadistic villainy of Blackbeard, who reflects the terror that real-life pirates could strike into the hearts of ordinary citizens. Our World's Blackbeard started his career as a young man from Bristol, England, named Edward Teach, rather than Marshall D. Teach, Blackbeard's name in One Piece. Inspired by the tales of Henry Every, the real Teach arrived in Nassau in 1716, where he enlisted as part of Benjamin Hornigold's pirate crew and joined the Pirates' Republic. Hornigold made Edward Teach commander of a plundered 40-gun frigate called the Queen Anne's Revenge, and he went on to become one of the most feared pirates history has ever known, Blackbeard. Soon, Blackbeard was captain of a whole fleet, with around 400 pirates under his command. He was voted by the pirates of Nassau to be their magistrate, which allowed him to enforce law and order as he saw fit. Teach acquired his Blackbeard moniker by growing out his beard and weaving lit fuses into it. When attacking other ships, his beard would seem to burn with the flames of hell itself. Stories of Blackbeard's cruelty sent ripples of fear throughout the Caribbean. It is possible, however, that these stories were lies spread by Blackbeard himself, so that the ships he raided would be more likely to surrender without a fight. Teach's legacy is reflected in the Blackbeard character of the One Piece universe. In the series, he is one of Luffy's archenemies, and his delight in chaos and destruction is the direct opposite of Luffy's dreams of brotherhood. Tellingly, Blackbeard became one of the world's 4 emperors by rebelling against his former captain, a character called Whitebeard, as if annihilating the merciful side of his personality in a dualistic paradigm and becoming a chaotic force beyond control. The Pirate Republic of Nassau, with its exuberant disregard for authority, couldn't last forever. In 1718, King George I of England appointed a new governor of the Bahamas, Woodes Rogers, who delivered an ultimatum to the pirates: renounce piracy and accept the king's pardon, or die. The pirates were declared hostis humani generis, enemies of all mankind, and denied citizenship, rights, or any form of protection. Ironically, the man who helped create the Republic, Benjamin Hornigold, was one of the first to accept the king's pardon. Woodes Rogers craftily appointed Hornigold and his crew as pirate hunters, tasked with capturing any of their colleagues who refused to relinquish piracy. This reminds us of the Shichibukai of One Piece, who served the world government by hunting other pirates and collecting the bounties on their heads. By early 1719, the Pirate Republic of Nassau was at an end. The remaining pirates went on the run to West Africa, the East Indies, or the North American coast. In 1722, the last great pirate, Bartholomew Roberts, who Bartholomew Kuma of One Piece is named after, was killed in battle. If so many popular ideas of pirates are based on historical fact, then how accurate are the stories of buried treasure? Could there be a real-life One Piece, such as that hidden by Goldie Roger? Contrary to the popular image, pirate booty was not usually gold, silver, or jewels. Generally, pirates raided ships for more pragmatic plunder: tobacco, cloth, molasses for the manufacture of rum, medicine, and supplies. Also, in a world where pirates faced the possibility of being seized by the authorities at any time, there was a temptation to spend any plundered wealth as quickly as possible, rather than bury it for future use. This also means the existence of treasure maps written in obscure codes or invisible inks is highly unlikely. Nevertheless, this has not stopped persistent rumors of buried pirate treasure throughout the centuries. For example, the treasure of pirate Olivier Levasseur, nicknamed the Buzzard. He is another inspiration behind Goldie Roger. Some accounts say that before he was hanged, Levasseur took off his necklace and threw it into the crowd, declaring, "Find my treasure, the one who may understand it." The necklace was later found to contain a cryptogram of 17 lines. The cryptogram has been recorded for posterity, but so far has not been decoded. Then, there is also the bizarre history of Oak Island in Nova Scotia. This island is rumored to be the site where Captain Kidd buried his treasure. Although few take this story very seriously, there have been 7 attempts to locate and excavate the booty, which have resulted in 6 accidental deaths and an ongoing reality TV show on the History Channel. There may be no more pirate treasure left to be found in our world, but one thing's for certain: the quest for the One Piece in Oda's complex fictional universe will go on. That's all I'm going to cover in this video, but if you noticed a reference to real-world history in One Piece that I didn't cover in this video, please let me know what it is in the comments below. The real-life golden age of piracy has been the inspiration for many stories, and although One Piece is a fantasy, it is one of the best representations of the spirit of that age in fiction. If you enjoyed this video, check out my videos that break down the real-world mythology and history behind Naruto, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Princess Mononoke, and Spirited Away, linked on the screen. Be sure to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to be notified of new videos that break down the real-world mythology behind your favorite movies and TV shows. Thanks for watching. Until next time.